pretty exciting thing we're doing right now, taking control of this album that we've all waited a really long time to record, and a lot of these songs we've waited a really long time to hear in their full studio potential. What really jumps to mind on the album, one of the coolest things is the amount of diversification we've gone, like vocally. We've got all kinds of people on the album, not just vocally, just people from all over the Okanagan, like our buddies are drumming on it, and we've got our girlfriends singing on it, and it's just it's like a family feel album, and it's just a great feeling to have all these different people involved in it.
When we started out, we had pretty big plans for the whole album. We sat down and thoroughly thought through any ideas that any of the four of us had as far as production goes, extra instrumentation, layers, and production technique. Wrote it all down and just started checking out the list. We didn't know how much of it we could feasibly accomplish, but looking at that list now, it's pretty rubbed out.
The production on the album was just insane. I mean, I've never getting to work with Denny from the symphony orchestra was just amazing. Like seeing Pete and Riley just make something I hummed to them into an actual thing was beautiful. Well, the most interesting thing about recording this album for me is I've been doing this a long time, and we used a lot of methods I'm not usually used to. Reamping amps was a new experience. I was actually thoroughly impressed with that.
We've been doing most of the recording here ourselves, which also gives us a lot of ideas. It's nice to finally put these ideas into motion. We learned a lot from the EP. It's already shown to help so much in the mix when trying to achieve a good sound, getting the best stems we could and going out of our way to get the best sound, and just have that extra control. This whole time we've been making systems for later. Like we recorded drums on 2 days, and we cut guitars on a couple amps, and for each of those in Logic we're making presets that we can switch over to tracks later on and save ourselves a lot of work when trying to recreate the same tone. It seems to really be paying off, and we're all really excited as to how it's sounding.
Seriously, as we're taking most of the album, it's not without its humor. Tracking multiple layers of accordion and slide whistle, hysterical laughter, screaming, banter, monkey crash cymbals, to create a circus theme, a circus scene, if you will, for one of our tracks, Naturally Grey. It was a blast just getting friends together to create something completely absurd and ridiculous, but hopefully effective as well musically, because it is an attempt to paint a picture, and comical as it is, there's a element of seriousness to it.
I got to play accordion on it. That was awesome. I just bought an accordion.
Time to get super circusy on some of the parts of it, and it was really fun. Got Rob in there playing accordion, and and some crazy laughter in the background and slide whistles and all sorts, and it was really fun and entertaining, and I think it'll throw people a bit off when they hear it. It's going to be interesting.
When we started out, we had pretty big plans for the whole album. We sat down and thoroughly thought through any ideas that any of the four of us had as far as production goes, extra instrumentation, layers, and production technique. Part of our ambition, part of our ideas being to have string sections, string arrangements and horn arrangements as a part of a few of our songs on this album. Presented a great challenge, also a great opportunity. But writing it was one thing, but it was certainly a surreal feeling to have a player like Denis Letourneau, several great horn players from the Thursday Night Jazz Band in Penticton, playing the arrangements that I had very humbly written. Peter and myself had written. Nervously approach these great players with our arrangements, and to see the fruits of our labor come into action was pretty surreal. It's one of the greatest experiences I've had as a musician. Hundreds of tracks per song. Nothing I certainly have ever dealt with before, but breaking it down in submixes, and now we're finally starting to have the final stems into mix sessions. It's looking a lot more possible than it did in some points throughout this journey. It was a pretty ambitious project to begin with, and certainly fought through our trials and tribulations, but it's pretty exciting to see it all coming together now.
I would say that this is the highest production thing I've ever done. It's just however much work we've spent on it has just proven to me how amazing it is in this day and age to be able to use this amount of technology.
Building kind of a sub kick to pick up the low frequency out of a Fender driver and DI box.
An album like this sort of really provides an opportunity to bring a lot of people together creatively and artistically, and just, you know, see what comes out. It's a long process, and, you know, it's a lot to deal with, but it's so worth it in the end.
So it's been really, really good. I've enjoyed every part of it, and I'm really looking forward to releasing it and seeing what people think.